Hi, I'm Lucia Rutherford and I'm from St. George, Utah.
And I'm Dave Rutherford and I go with her.
So why are you here? What procedures have you had done?
Well, I had a lot of procedures. First of all, I had a
You had an extended tummy tuck.
well, I was thinking of my back first.
Yep, okay. Yes, so you had an upper back lift.
So I had an upper back lift.
Yeah.
And then I had a extended tummy tuck. I had liposuction done on the upper part of my stomach, and I had a breast lift.
Yeah.
And then a week later, I had arm lift.
Arm lift, so that's right.
I also had surgery on my sides.
Perfect. So why did you actually choose to come here to Thailand? Because obviously here you're in Bangkok. So what made you come to Bangkok to get these procedures done?
Well, actually, I did a lot of research because I wanted to find out I wanted to find a doctor I could trust. So I did a lot of research with a lot of different companies, and then I found Medi Makeovers, and I looked up Dr. Teerapat's credentials, where he went to school, what different boards he was on. I also wanted to see if what was important to me is I wanted to know if he could speak English, and I saw that he spent 3 years in America, which told me right there he understands the culture and he can speak English, and that everything about him was extremely positive. Everything I read about him, and I felt very confident in choosing this doctor. Also, another thing is that I checked with a lot of different companies. I had a wonderful client manager. Her name was Christine. Christine just answered all my questions. She did it promptly. If she hadn't done it promptly, I might have been looking elsewhere, but she got right back to me. And then Danny, you also got back to me promptly, and any question that I had was answered. And promptly. There was no pressure. There was no constantly contacting me. I contacted them. They gave me the answer, and I went from there.
So before surgery, you had a Zoom call with Dr. Teerapat too. So how did you feel about the Zoom? Because David, you were in that Zoom too. So did that help you?
I had a big list of questions, because we're in the US and we're basically buying medical services, 7,000 miles away. So
Yes.
we have no idea who these people are. So so we went through the Zoom call. Dr. Teerapat answered the questions very professionally. He explained the things in detail when we had questions. I had like 10 or 15 questions that we just went through it that Lou and I had discussed.
And he answered every single question. So there was no question left to ask because he answered all the questions. And what really reassured us was that we got to meet the doctor first, talk with the doctor, and that alleviates a lot of stress. Going, okay, I've met the doctor, he's answered our questions. He did not hesitate and think about it. He knew right away what the answer was. And so he left us with no questions.
Right. So it's the morning of your surgery.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay, the morning of my surgery, the driver was there on time. I went out and he met me. I went to the hospital because I have a cardiac problem. I have 3 stents in my heart, so I was taken to the hospital. I also had a cardiologist assigned to me, and so I felt and I met with the cardiologist, and we discussed my condition. We also talked about all the medications that I took, and after I met with him and they got me ready, prepped for surgery, I can tell you I had absolutely no fear, any trepidation, nothing. I felt very at calm. I felt peaceful. I knew that I had made the right decision because I had met Dr. Teerapat before. I had had everything that was told me that was going to happen happened. So I totally trusted the company at this point. And I went into surgery not worried at all.
So meeting Dr. Teerapat and having a chat with him was like you already knew him.
Yes.
Yep.
And so when I saw him, when I went into the operating theater, I already knew who he was, and he was very, very warm, welcoming, put me at ease. I met the anesthesiologist beforehand when I was getting prepped, ready to go into the theater, and it was a male. And he came and he spoke to me and he calmed me down. He told me exactly what he was going to do. So when it was time to put the IV and everything in and give me my anesthesia, I was already prepped on what was going to happen.
And you understood him. He spoke
I
English.
understood. Everything was done the way that I expected it to be done. Yes.
So you booked and then you arrived in Bangkok. So tell us about that.
Okay, it was a really wonderful experience because my husband stayed behind. He wasn't going to come to Thailand for another week. And so when I was met at the airport, when I got off the plane, I followed the directions that were sent to me. I had printed out the directions, so there's no question of where I needed to go. I went to the allocated spot and someone was there. All I said was Medi Makeovers, and everybody pointed at the man who was going to, my driver basically. My driver loaded up all my bags. I came straight to the hotel here. The hotel is absolutely beautiful. And I went to the desk, which was also printed up in the directions that said go to the left of the main desk. And there was a lady there waiting for me, and she right away registered me. There was no waiting around. I got registered right away. She gave me my key card and up I went to my room. Very easy, very quick. Like I said, I read the directions to make sure I knew where I was going, because Medi Makeover was like a well-oiled machine. They had everything set up to where it was, you didn't even have to think. All you had to do is remember what you read.
That's it. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So David, you weren't there on the surgery day, so how were you feeling?
Well, I was back in China, still working, so because she was going to have some extensive work, and there was a week between the beginning of the surgeries and then the third major surgery with the arms, there was nothing really to be done, because I think you had advised us that you're going to do nothing. She's going to be in the hospital for a few days, and she's going to lay in a bed, and there's nothing to do. So I didn't need to be there for support. So what I got was, I'm at work. I said, okay, well, she went to surgery, and then I'm waiting for the update from Danny, saying everything went well, and that's what I got. Everything went well. That was all I needed to have, So I was notified of what was going on. So that was it. I got to talk to Lou before she went into surgery in pre-op, and then after surgery, after recovery, I got to talk to her then again with a video call. So that's all. I mean, technology makes it really handy to follow up with these things when you're very far away.
So it puts you at ease.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So you're waking up from surgery, Lou, and how did you feel? How was it in the hospital with the nurses and pain and?
Okay, number one, the nurses were awesome. They were absolutely fantastic. They might not be able to speak English, but they knew what I needed. They took care of me completely. I pushed the button.
Google Translate's good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I used Google Translate. But what was really amazing to me, which I was not used to, which really surprised me, is you push the button for the nurse to come. You wait usually 5-10 minutes, and they mosey on in.
Where's that?
In the United States.
Yes.
Well, I would push the button and they would say yes right away. And then they were in my room within a minute. And so the nurses were very prompt. They were very careful with me because of all the surgeries that I had. And when they had to move me, they were very careful to move me. Everything was slow. Everything was very careful. They also, one thing I want to comment on is on the diet. They came in and it was all soft foods, and even the dietitian came in and she worked up a plan with me on what I should be eating and what I could be eating. So there was no guesswork of what to pick, because the dietitian sat there and worked with me. So I knew what I was going to eat in the hospital, which is a great help.
Yes, yeah, especially with a tummy tuck where there's pressure from compression garments and things like that. It's best to have good foods, easy to digest, and you don't want to be feeling sick.
And I woke up from surgery. So I woke up from surgery very hungry. They fed me right away because I had been fasting to have the surgery. So they brought the food in right away, and I ate everything.
Everything.
So, yes, and the food was really good.
So from that point, you went back to the hotel after 4 nights in hospital.
Yes.
So how did you feel at the hotel?
Wonderful, absolutely fantastic.
David obviously wasn't there, but you were still okay on your own.
The car pulled up. They brought out a wheelchair. They helped me out of the car. They took me to my room, brought my suitcases, laid my suitcases down on the counter. He unzipped it, opened it up for me, and then I did. And then, of course, I got ready and went to bed. And I basically stayed in bed, but I was instructed by Danny, which was very important, to go down to breakfast every day. So the next morning when I woke up, I thought, well, Danny's expecting me to go to breakfast, so I better get down there. So I went down there, and it's the best thing because you're socializing with other people. You're out of the room. And I would call the front desk, and they would bring a wheelchair up and take me down to breakfast. And then then when I was ready to go, someone in the
breakfast with the executive lounge.
Executive lounge would help me into my wheelchair and would take me back up to my room. So there was no stress of me saying, how am I going to get back to my room? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Everything was taken care of. Like I say, the staff here at the hotel is fantastic, and even in the lounge, it's everything. It's just,
they all know our clients, so they really do respect you and understand that you've gone through surgery and that you need their help.
And they were there to help me. In fact, when I went to get my water and my juice, they did it for me because they saw that's what I wanted. So they said, we'll take it. You know, they just, of course, they didn't speak English, but they let me know that go sit wherever you'd like to sit, which they actually helped me go to the table and pick the table, and then would help me get my food and my drink and everything. So it was a really good experience. Had a negative experience at all with any of the food.
So there was everything for you. Oh, and you did make it up to the food court at the top too, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
So, and that was really cheap, isn't it? It's fabulous.
And the food was great up there too.
Yeah, so there's really every type of food here for you. So it's not like if you have,
and
if you don't
we're
like
vegetarians.
Thai. Yes, that's right, you're vegos.
We're vegetarians, and we still found delicious food to eat. So we also, but we do eat seafood. So, but yeah, we could find whatever we wanted.
Yeah. So as you said, from the bakery to the soup from the gourmet supermarket to juices to Thai food to everything.
Falafel.
It's important because you're here for an extended stay. So the room, one of the things I liked about the room is, I mean, they have super high windows. You know, those are probably 15-foot ceilings at least. So you don't feel like you're in a typical hotel room. You got a great view of beautiful downtown Bangkok, and so you're not trapped in a room. And there's the fridge and the washing machine and everything is there.
And
so
microwave
you can
to heat your food. If you
so you can prepare your own food if you want to. So it was a comfortable room to stay in. Of course, it's still not being at home, but it was a comfortable room, and I really think just the layout, the large windows makes a huge difference. The airy feeling, the space.
Like big picture window. It's like the whole wall is a window, and it was wonderful. We did not feel closed in at all. No.
So what would you advise people who are like you were pre-surgery and looking? What do you feel about Medi Makeovers, and what would you tell them about coming to Thailand?
Okay, I only have positive things to say because I had a very wonderful experience. I have been losing weight for like 2.5 years, so I was ready to get a makeover. And like I said, I did my research. Medi Makeovers had everything that I wanted. I felt very positive going with them because I had looked into lots of different companies, but this is the company I felt like was serious. They were there for the client. My client manager was fantastic. Everything with Medi Makeovers, what they promised, they came through with. I printed up every email that I received, and I put it in a book, and I read to find out what I needed to bring. There was no surprises. And what I really, really liked was the fact there was no hidden cost. Lots of times they say, oh, we're gonna tack this on. There was absolutely no hidden cost. This company is very personal. Speaking with you right here,
yes,
getting to know the owner of the company, Danny. It's awesome to get to know you. Christine was just fantastic working with her. The lines of communication was wide open. I would ask a question, one of them would get back to me. It was usually my manager, but once I got to Thailand, it was all Danny. And so it was very personalized. I felt like I knew you before I ever met you. And but you would keep Dave informed of my situation. So the lines of communication that you had out there was fantastic. I have absolutely no complaints about Medi Makeovers. I would give it 100% rating.
Thank you.
And yes, and you guys deserve it. And I like the way that you and Dr. Teerapat converse with each other, and you're very much on the same page. And when it comes to a patient, you guys are on the same page with that patient. I like the fact, Danny, that you know exactly what's going on with each client that you manage. And it's amazing because there was 5 of us here at one time, and Danny had us all, she knew exactly what all of us needed to do. She made appointments. I mean, you did everything. You did everything, and you were right on top of it. And it's very personalized. So it's not like this big company that we never meet anybody. We met you, and like I said, Christine already got back with me to see how my experience was and how I'm doing. And I just feel I would give this company a high rating, 5 out of 5. And anybody in my family who asks, I would recommend it. And if they need someone to travel with them, I would travel with them.
Right.
So, right?
Back to Thailand?
Oh, back to Thailand. Oh, yes. Or Turkey, because Danny is also in Turkey.
Too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at with
Thank
Medi
you.
Makeovers, I would go to
Thank
that
you.
country.
Yes.
I had a couple of ladies that are return customers.
Yes,
One
yes.
was 4 times.
Yes.
So when people keep returning to the same company, that says something about the company. They trust the company. The company is a well-oiled machine, and they care.
Thank you. Thank you. And David, how do you feel? So you feel she was in safe hands? You've got a new woman here now.
Yes,
Yes.
for some parts are definitely different than they've been. For me, we had a little bit of a wrinkle there with the banking that happened at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's just life.
That's right.
There was nothing, no problem. But again, when I'm in international business, you're always wondering, we do everything with, perhaps with wire transfers or things like that. So it was a little bit different way of doing things, but everything was worked out great. Everything above board, no surprises. So I feel like Lou does. I'm 100% satisfied and happy with Medi Makeovers and the care and the attention to detail that your firm has towards their clients is obvious. Repeat customers are a big thing, obviously, because that tells me that they trust you, they had a good experience. Obviously, Dr. Teerapat is an incredible surgeon. He's got a great team there, I think, and so the whole organization is one I would recommend without any reserve. From the pick up at the airport to hopefully going back tomorrow.
You're leaving tomorrow morning. That's right.
Hopefully that'll go over well.
It will.
As long as
So we don't stop here. So we still keep in touch with you over the next 12 months. So the next few weeks we'll have phone calls and photos and Zoom calls if you need with Dr. Teerapat, and then it goes for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. So full-on consultations, and we do stay in touch anytime with you. So it's not like we just say goodbye at the airport and that's it. No, we need to know how you're recovering and how you're recuperating.
And I can tell you care, and I can tell that Dr. Teerapat cares.
Yes.
And he is very good with after surgeries too, checking on us, making sure we're okay. We had visits at the clinic afterwards to where he would go through and check us to make sure everything's safe. Good, that we had no infections. And I have to say, my extended tummy tuck that I had, there's hardly a scar.
Yes.
He does such a fantastic job. And so, but he does care. You can tell he cares. He's always checking on you, and he stays in contact with you on a regular basis. So I felt, like I said, I felt very good, very safe, that everything was being taken care of, that I didn't have to worry because you guys were doing the worry for me.
And one of the things that we really have to stress with everybody is you've got to be patient. This is not something that, overnight you're going to be fully healed, and you've been amazing about that. So you've really done the right thing. You've stayed here the length of time you needed to stay, as you've got to go back to China now and just get on with life. So, we respected that you understood the process and you're still not fully healed.
Correct.
So you're going to continue with the healing process back home and rest and recover and, do all that sort of stuff. So we really respect that.
The only suggestion I have for your clients is listen to Danny. If Danny says you need to take it easy, or don't do this, don't do that, or you need to do this, listen and it will be perfectly fine. I listened and I stayed indoors, like we're not supposed to be out in the heat. Stay inside and just listen. If you listen to the doctor, you listen to Danny, you heal the way you're supposed to heal. I've been here a month and I feel great.
Yeah. And this hotel does help too, because it's not you're not feeling trapped in one room. You can wander out. We're here at the lounge, just out the front of the executive lounge, and beautiful big lobby downstairs, and as you talked about before, was the shopping centre next door. So it's not like you're just locked up in a room.
Oh no.
And as for the support person, the partner, whoever is here to help the person go through the recovery, for me it's a great location because you've got the access to all the public transit is right here, right outside the door. It's very easy to get around in Bangkok with that stuff. So it's a great place to be able to support somebody to heal. And again, I agree with what you've said about you got to rest, you got to take care of yourself. Was exactly what you've stressed. Is if you don't take care of yourself and you don't rest, then your body's not going to get the opportunity to do what it needs to do to come back from the surgery, and as fast as it normally should. So that's a huge thing. So
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You're an amazing couple. I'm so glad I've met you. It's amazing. So you might see me in the States one day and I'll be knocking on your door.
Please do. Please
Ski
come.
season's coming up.
That's it. And don't forget us back in Australia. I mean, I know you've been already once, but come back. Come back. And of course, here we are in Bangkok, Thailand. We're waiting.
And we might be back again. You never know.
That's right.
For what?
I know.
Aren't you
Even just a
perfected
holiday. Even just a holiday.
Just a holiday.
Just a holiday, yes, because
That's right.
you've seen a lot of the hotel and the
Yes,
hotel
and
room.
Terminal
You haven't
21
seen a whole
shopping
lot of
centre.
Bangkok.
This hotel. is
Although
just-
we did go to MBK.
Yes, we
MBK
did.
was fun. Yep.
That's
We
right,
went
right
shopping.
on the
that
last
was
day. Yep.
that was fantastic.
Yep.
It was my first field trip, my first outing,
Yep.
and it had been almost. It was like 3 weeks.
Yes.
So the first time that I went out.
Yeah. On
and
the
it
Sky
was-
Train, you
Yep.
did the Sky Train and you shopped
Yep.
and you rested when you needed to, so
Yep.
that was good.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
so
was a
that was
great
good.
shopping experience, and I needed that before I went back to the airport.
Yes.
I wanted to know what I could handle because once you go to the airport, there's a lot of moving around, a lot of
Yes.
walking, and so it was good for me to get out around other people because I hadn't been around anybody but basically the hotel and
our clients, and that's it. Yeah, the staff. Yeah,
And so
that's right.
it was nice to get out to see physically how much I could do and what I can handle, and that gave me a great measuring stick as to what I can expect when we travel.
And we can't forget you had your eyeliner tattoo too.
I did.
With our amazing doctor.
Yes,
Dr.
I did.
Fabian. So it's a
Yes.
slight little bit of a bruise, but that's
Yeah.
okay. But
Oh,
that,
it's not even been a week,
Yeah.
and they look great. And I
Yeah.
also got my teeth whitened.
teeth whitened. Yes.
And I have to say, both the dentist and the person that did the eyeliner
Dr.
was
Pavone.
recommended by you
Yes,
you
yeah, amazing
know who
team.
they different doctors to do things. You also have a tailor. So there's
Yes.
lots of people that you know
Oh,
that
yes.
if all you have to do is ask Danny, do you know somewhere I can get this done or this done? Danny has the answer, and if she doesn't, she'll figure out the answer.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
Well, thank you guys so much. Amazing.
You're welcome.
It's great to be here.
It was great experience.